Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Thursday, the 21st of December, 2023. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 closed down 0.5% today to 7,504 points, taking some of the steam out of what has been a remarkable rally. Since late October, the bourse is up 7%. The worst performing sector today, at least, on the ASX was the tech stocks, which mirrored Wall Street overnight. Real estate and consumer discretionary stocks, which are interest rate sensitive, also underperformed. The utilities and industrials were among the best today. In terms of specific stocks, the big miners, Fortescue Metals Group, Rio Tinto and BHP outperformed. The big 4 banks all went backwards, and Macquarie dropped more than 1%. Transurban and Telstra, both what they call defensive stocks, did well, while Aristocrat Leisure dropped more than 2%. Story number 2, Ikea, the Swedish furniture giant famous for its cheap flat-pack furniture and meatballs served in its store cafeterias, has posted booming sales in Australia, but due to an intercompany loan, made a loss last financial year. The retailer is on the way towards annual sales in this country of $2 billion, and last year posted its largest profit since first opening here in 1975, according to a report in The Australian. Ikea's Australian arm posted an $82 million profit last financial year, that's 2022, almost tenfold up from the previous year, and that came after a string of annual losses. But for the 12 months to the end of August 2023, this last financial year, somehow the local arm lost $48.5 million. Now, it was due to a number of unexplained financial expenses, including a loss from the derecognition of financial liability. No idea what that means. Basically, turnover's booming, yet last year the company recorded its worst result in at least 8 years. Go figure that. Story number 3, the government has called on the big social media platforms to negotiate new deals to compensate media players for use of content, lest face litigation. Assistant Treasurer Stephen Jones warned tech players such as Google and Meta, the parent of Facebook, that he's prepared to use the laws if they don't negotiate in good faith. Now, the code was introduced back in March 2021 and gives the government the power to force negotiations between digital platforms and news businesses. It came after traditional players complained that their content was being used by the tech giants for free. While the code has not been formally used yet, the threat of the government appointing a mediator, known as a designation, has prompted more than 30 commercial arrangements worth more than $200 million between Google and Meta and small and large Australian news businesses. Many of those deals, especially between Meta and publishers, will expire over the next 12 months. Story number 4, Toyota's share price in Japan tumbled over the past 24 hours after subsidiary Daihatsu Motors offices were raided over a safety scandal, and the automaker, that's Toyota, had to recall 1 million vehicles. The Transport Ministry's raid of Daihatsu's Osaka headquarters came after revelations that the car maker and supplier manipulated the results of collision safety tests dating as far back as 1989, forcing it to halt all shipments. Daihatsu supplies cars and parts to a number of major brands, including Toyota, Mazda, and Subaru, which could cause the scandal to ripple through the rest of Japan's auto industry. We're going to hear plenty about this one. Also this week, Toyota had to recall about 1 million cars sold in the US at risk of faulty passenger side airbags. And finally, story number 5, another international story. Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount Global are in early talks to merge, according to multiple media reports. The deal would see the owner of HBO channels and CNN team up with the studio behind the Mission Impossible films and CBS News. According to the BBC, talks are at an early stage only. The deal would bring together 2 of Hollywood's big 5 studios. Streaming of shows and films has meant that traditional media companies have had to invest quickly to compete with the likes of Netflix, Amazon Video and Apple TV. Now, Paramount, which owns the 10 network in Australia, is under a lot of pressure to find a buyer or strategic partner because of its levels of debt accrued in recent years whilst bulking up its streaming service. Last year, AT&T's Warner Media unit and Discovery merged to become Warner Brothers Discovery, with a portfolio that includes Discovery Channel, Warner Brothers Entertainment, CNN, HBO, Cartoon Network, and franchises such as Batman and Harry Potter. Plenty going on there. That's it for the afternoon report for Thursday, the 21st of December, 2023. Don't forget to hit follow on the podcast and find Fear and Greed on LinkedIn, Instagram, X and Facebook. Join Michael Thompson and I tomorrow morning for the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed, the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.